Would you join me in taking off your hats for our invocation? Let us join together. On this day, we give you thanks for the weather, because on Friday afternoon at this time, we were receiving 1.9 inches of rain and had a funnel cloud overhead. We give you thanks this afternoon for these graduates, for the ways in which they have brightened up this community, challenged the faculty and staff, and raised us all to a higher standard. On this day, we give you thanks, knowing that not all the students who started with us 4 years ago are here with us today, and knowing that they will be remembered, but also knowing that today is our day of celebrating achieving this grand achievement. We come together this afternoon to celebrate many things: honorary degrees, speeches, the celebration of Dr. John Boffman, retired professor's 50th commencement ceremonies here at DePauw, and to celebrate each and every one of these graduates who today become bachelors. Be with us in this service. May everything go well, may we not get too sunburned, and may we leave from here proud of all that's been accomplished. For these things we give you thanks. Amen.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Oh, beautiful the dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law.
Good afternoon and welcome to DePauw University. My name is Carrie Pinnell. I'm the Dean of the Faculty and the QG Noblit Professor of Economics and Management. It is my pleasure and great honor to introduce to you the 19th President of DePauw University, Brian W. Casey.
On behalf of the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, the full membership of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and the administration, let me welcome all parents, brothers, sisters, grandmothers and grandfathers, aunts, uncles, guardians, and friends to these, the 171st commencement exercises of DePauw University. Welcome also to our honored guests and our honorary degree recipients. Thank you all for gathering on this most important of occasions. And welcome, of course, to you, the class of 2010. And you look really great from up here, I'm telling you. Whether you've looked forward to this day with excitement or dread, or some combination of both, this day has finally come. And so we gather in this way, through these rituals, to mark your triumphs, to celebrate your achievements, to wish you well, and to begin to say goodbye. Before we begin these formal rituals of these exercises, though, I would like to ask the parents and the guardians of the graduates to please stand. Please stand. Surely we have shared this journey of these students with you. I want to thank and acknowledge you and for all that you've done for our graduates and all that we have shared with them. May I ask the graduates to please acknowledge your parents and guardians. Thank you. Next, I would like to ask the graduates to please rise, turn, and face the DePauw University faculty so you can recognize all that they have done for you these past 4 years. Thank you. Thank you, graduates. You can be seated. You know, in just a few minutes, I'll be getting your degrees. We won't be able to do this with you, so. Now, to start our formal proceedings this afternoon, I would like to recognize Nicole Christine Craker, the 2010 Walker Cup recipient. The Walker Cup is awarded to the senior who has been determined to have contributed the most to the university during his or her 4 years of enrollment. The winner is chosen both by the students and the chairs of the academic departments. The Walker Cup was given to the university by Guy Morrison Walker, class of 1890, one of 6 generation of Walkers to attend DePauw University. Nikki served as student body president and president of the Independent Council this year and has served as a mentor with the First Year Experience program. She was also student representative on the Campus Planning Committee. She is a member of the Mortarboard Senior Honor Society and the National Society of Collegiate Scholars, and today she will receive her Bachelor of Arts degree in biology. Join me in welcoming Nicole Christine Craker, who will bring greetings on behalf of the graduating class.
Saturday, August 19th, 2006, the class of 2010 arrived. My DePauw journey began, just as it did for all of us, on a sunny August afternoon 4 years ago. By the time I had reached exit 41 off of Interstate 70 West, I had listened to and sang along with great fervor to every CD in my possession, and was excited to get out of my car that was packed to the brim with items I insisted were necessary in college. I excitedly pulled off towards the large brown sign that read, DePauw University. I had finally made it, or so I thought. After another 10 minutes of driving through windy roads and hills, I began to wonder if I had missed a turn. I was about to ask for directions when I came across a weathered KFC, what seemed to be an extraordinary number of gas stations, and a small green sign pointing towards campus. I looked around and thought, have I really decided to come to college in a small rural town? I maneuvered my way through campus and eventually found my dormitory. Although I had been told through countless posts on the class Facebook message board to preference Longden Hall, I found myself in a uniquely shaped and interestingly decorated Hogate, also known as Hogetto. As I moved my large mound of belongings into my new home, I looked around and got a sense of comfort from the excited, tired, and somewhat terrified faces of all those strangers who would soon be my friends. College was finally beginning. On that day, 599 overly eager and somewhat sweaty freshmen unpacked their cars and U-Hauls, hugged their parents goodbye, and made their way to the Union Building to have their ID photo taken. That small headshot, which would continue to haunt us for the next 4 years, seemed to perfectly capture the sentiment that day. Our faces looked full of energy and anticipation, with a tint of panic and a smudge of terror. We were excited to begin an amazing adventure, but were sad at the thought of leaving our family, our friends, and our homes. The jumble of nervousness and enthusiasm we felt that first day has followed us throughout our 4 years. We felt it when we squirmed in our desks during first-year seminar, when we stood shivering in front of a Greek house during recruitment, when we got on a plane full of strangers who we would later call friends during winter term, and when we finally handed in our senior theses. That anxious excitement has given us vigor, kept us adrenalized, and has pushed us to do better and to do more. Our 4 years at DePauw have been a time of transition and change, which has given us a unique opportunity to make a lasting impact on our school. When we left the ID office with our freshly printed black and gold tiger cards, we immediately began shaping this place as the first class to abandon the red and white swipe cards. We were the first class to enjoy a Longden melt at the Den. We were the first and last class to successfully fill all 6 of our groups. We have witnessed the construction of the Prindle Institute for Ethics and the remodeling of the Green Center for Performing Arts. We have gotten to know and have gotten to complain to 2 university presidents. We have helped hire the campus planning firm that will continue to reshape this campus for years to come. As a class, we have made our mark on DePauw history, and we have contributed great things to this place. Some of our accomplishments are large and public, others are small and personal. Beginning our freshman year, some of the women that sit before us today won the Division III Women's Basketball National Championship. Two of us have earned Fulbright Awards. A few of us organized a rally that brought together the university against intolerance. One of us was named Greencastle Citizen of the Year, while another was named one of 4 finalists for the Gagliardi Trophy. Currently, the women's softball team is competing to win the Division III World Series. While it is clear that our class is made up of very talented individuals, we have all contributed to this experience. Many of us cheered on our team to 2 Monon victories. Some of us have fallen in love. A few of us came to DePauw wanting to be doctors and are leaving poets, while others successfully organized weekend toga parties. We have all immersed ourselves in our own pursuits. Today we find ourselves in a position similar to the one we faced 4 years ago. We enter a new door and leave our friends and our homes to embark on a new adventure. This is the last time the class of 2010 will be assembled together. I have lived in the same old, crooked, but charming house for the last 3 years and consider DePauw my home. I am scared to leave behind a place that I love. However, my sadness is juxtaposed with the desire to take the information DePauw has given me and the talents it has fostered within me and impact the world in a similar way that we have all impacted DePauw. I am excited to see this dynamic and driven class extend its ideas, its criticisms, and its solutions to a much larger community. Instead of having our ID photos taken today, we will take pictures with every family member and every friend we can find, all the while perfecting our skinny arm pose. Each of these photos will capture the same spirit of nervousness that we hated in our original ID pictures, and that's okay. It's okay to be nervous, and it's okay to be excited. The energy that stayed with us throughout our DePauw career will continue to thrive in each of us. It will continue to push us to do better and continue to inspire passion in our pursuits. We have done great things here, and we will continue to do great things. Today and tomorrow, as we finish packing all of the unnecessary items that we swore we would need in college, and head back to the different states and countries from which we came, we must remember that while we are leaving Greencastle, DePauw will stay with us. We have done a lot for DePauw, but DePauw has done a lot for us. Here we have learned not only skills, but how to think, how to examine, and how to question. We have been given the tools not only to succeed in our own pursuits, but to inspire others to do so as well. As I drive off campus and out of town towards I-70 East, I look at this small rural town in a very different light than I did when I entered. I will see the rundown KFC as the place where we were able to pick up late-night double downs, and the plethora of gas stations as the places where we purchased our much-needed Red Bulls during finals. This is not just a small rural town in Indiana. It is our home, a home that will continue to support us as new alumni. So in my last act as a student, I want to say thank you. Thank you to President Casey for caring so deeply about DePauw and the students who live here. Thank you to the professors who have shared their passions with us and have helped us discern our own passions. Thank you to the staff for the individual attention and support you have given. Thank you to my wonderful friends who have kept me energized. Thank you to the women of 402 Indiana who have become my family. Thank you, Trevor, for putting up with me even when I didn't deserve it. And finally, thank you to all the parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles sitting in the crowd today. We could not have done this without you. Mom, I could not have done this without you. It is Sunday, May 23rd, 2010, and class of 2010, we have again arrived. Congratulations.
And thank you, Nikki. It is my pleasure today to introduce to you Wallace J. Nichols III, or as Jay as he prefers to be called. Jay has a passion to share his love for our planet's oceans and its inhabitants, and this renowned scientist is not shy about his efforts to protect them. He wants everyone to know the dangers, the successes, the vast amounts of work yet to be done if our oceans and coastal regions, their flora and fauna, are to survive. Toward that end, this former Fulbright Fellow has authored numerous scientific papers, book chapters, reports, and popular articles on matters of ecology. His fervor and his seemingly inexhaustible energy, enthusiasm, and depth of knowledge has garnered attention far beyond academia. Jay has appeared in the documentary film The 11th Hour, co-directed and narrated by Leonardo DiCaprio, has co-authored a screenplay for an animated feature film, and has written a children's book, all efforts to draw the world's attention to the mostly unseen inhabitants of our oceans and seas. Jay freely admits his two favorite places in the world are in the central coast of California and beneath the warm blue ocean 30 miles offshore of Baja Magdalena. But today, Jay has chosen to leave the West Coast and his beloved oceans, as he also has a love for DePauw University, where he received his Bachelor of Arts in Biology in 1989. Please join me in welcoming this loyal son of DePauw.
These are new, and I'm not so proud of these reading glasses. Buenos dias. Aloha. Ni hao. Good afternoon, y'all. President Casey, Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, class of 2010, friends and family, and of course, Marvin. Are we in Greencastle or Costa Rica? Feels like Costa Rica. Well, it's a beautiful day, and it's really good to be back. I was surprised and deeply honored to be chosen to speak to you today. I thought you had to be a famous alum to be asked to speak at Commencement, or apparently you can be a sea turtle guy. But I hear the sea turtle guys all across the country are giving commencement speeches, and it's just the rage this year, so it's just a little trend. I thought I would, why would someone who studies the ocean be asked to speak to graduates at a university in the heartland of our country? Well, the first and most obvious reason is that I attended DePauw. The second reason is that we live on an ocean planet. We live on the same planet. The surface of our planet is mostly seawater. Our actions, no matter where we are, matter to the future of the ocean, and the future of the ocean matters to all of us. Even so, I think it's safe to say that I'm the first turtle guy to give a commencement speech at DePauw, and perhaps not the last. When I was asked to give this speech, I had to check in on what commencement speeches are like these days, what they sound like, what the tenor is like. And I look back on the dozens of brilliant people who have stood right here and spoken to the graduating class and the faculty. People who made you laugh, people who made you cry, people who told you what they think you need to know to make the world a better place and to live your lives more meaningfully. People who talked about how they really didn't fit in and weren't sure what they were doing back when they were at school here. What I learned from all of them is that life is sometimes funny and sad, and no one really knows exactly what the future will bring. Many people who achieve success and live their dreams often feel like they don't fit in, and they aren't always sure what they're doing. But that's why we're all here on this beautiful blue planet, figuring it out and fighting it out together. My next question was, who are you? Because lesson number 1 in public speaking is know your audience. Lesson number 2 is be sure your speech has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So for the beginning, I'd like to talk a little bit about me and my time here. For the middle, I'm going to talk about you. And at the end, I'm going to talk about us. And I'm going to explain why you're holding a blue marble. So the beginning, me. For 4 years during the 1980s, I explored these 50 square blocks we call the DePauw campus and its surroundings, joined by my dog Blue, Labrador Retriever. He was in the yearbook, by the way. It's a yearbook picture. You can check it out. 1989, Blue Nichols. I'm certain I checked out this place more thoroughly than most students. Certainly, I really checked it out. I really spent a lot of time looking in unusual places. Wearing a mask and snorkel, I dove to the bottom and explored the diversity the beautiful underwater diversity of the former Bowman Pond. Believe it or not. My first discovery about Bowman Pond as a young scientist is that it's only 5 feet deep. Then I went on to discover that it's also home to a shopping cart, a bike, some bottles and cans, and a few pledge pins. We explored the cemeteries, the stadiums, and we found our way through the tunnels, the back doors, and onto the rooftops of most of the buildings on campus. We played our guitars into the wee hours in an empty Meharry Hall, and I'll tell you, that place has really sweet acoustics. Playing guitar at the penitentiary down the road and giving lessons to a young woman in a nursing home in Greencastle who'd lost her memory in a car accident, I learned how music can help heal the brain. We learned to scuba dive in the cold, silty rock quarries just down the road, and I spent many nights camped on their rims. We kayaked or canoed nearly every navigable river in the state and camped in most of the state parks. I learned about the plants and animals living on campus and off. I could tell you the genus and species of the weeds that grew in the cracks next to Harrison Hall. Common chickweed, Stellaria medea, in case anybody's wondering. Check it out on your way out. During winter terms, groups of us trained as emergency medical technicians. We made 2 service trips to Peru, 1 to Guatemala, with the legendary Reverend Fred Lamar. I volunteered for Putnam County Rescue for 3 years. There's no better way to get to know a people and a place than being a first responder. I wrote about my adventures in a weekly column in the campus paper appropriately called Wildlife. 2 words. Looking back, I may have been a little strange for this place. In fact, I think I was a little strange for this place. But from the look of things now and the amazing students I've met, I think I'd fit right in. When you get to know a place, when you really get to know it, the beautiful flowers as well as the weeds, you fall hopelessly in love. Even so, when it was time for Blue and I to go, we were ready. We were really ready. In fact, I think Blue was sitting right at the end of the stage in the driver's seat of my Jeep, packed and idling, ready for me to jump in after Dr. Bottoms handed me my diploma and I flipped my tassel. Blue was a good dog. He was not a very good driver. But during that senior year, I had read the book. The year I graduated, 1989, was the year Bill McKibben wrote his first book called The End of Nature. I read it, I reread it, and I probably read it again. McKibben described the destructive path that we were on and the consequences for life on Earth if we didn't move decidedly and strongly towards sustainability and away from our addiction to fossil fuels. 2 decades later, what Bill wrote has come to pass, much faster than he had predicted. When I read that book, I got this feeling of falling through some kind of endless Indiana Jones tunnel with snakes and all that creepy stuff. Except it was different. Indiana Jones, he sort of knows he's going to end up in the tunnel because it's in the script. And he always ends up in spooky places and tunnels or tombs or exploding mountains, usually with lots of snakes. But here I was, just sitting in a comfortable chair in Royal West Library, one moment, about to get my bachelor's degree at a premier liberal arts institution, and the next moment I'm free-falling through a snake tunnel. As I read this book, I thought to myself, holy cow. Except I didn't say cow. We are totally in trouble. Except I didn't say in trouble. Why the heck isn't everyone talking about this stuff? Except, you get it. You get the idea. I left knowing that I'd squeezed every experience and every opportunity from DePauw. I had sucked the marrow out of this place, as Thoreau might say. And at that moment, I had discovered my passion. I wanted to fix what was being destroyed. Plain and simple. I'll tell you, there's no greater gift than to find your passion. To be handed the keys and a license to drive. Just ask Blue. Little did I know that snorkeling in Bowman Pond, scuba diving in the quarry, writing for the DePauw, and ravaging Marvin's Burritos was preparing me to be a marine biologist studying sea turtles in Baja, Mexico. Flip to the next chapter. I'm about your age, maybe a little bit older, and I'm standing with my father in his living room, and I'm about to begin a PhD program. And he looks at me in his Harvard MBA voice, summoning all of the gravitas of every father-son relationship ever formed on earth combined, and he asks, "Sea turtles, son, what are you going to do with sea turtles?" And then the floor began to give way again, and I began to fall through that dark, deep, snake-lined Indiana Jones tunnel. And so I'm falling headfirst, upside down, in the dark, and I remember the bullwhip attached to my belt. That bullwhip could get Indy out of every situation, right? So then I'm back, staring in my father's eyes, summoning all the prodigal son, make my own way in the world bravado that a 20-something-year-old could muster. And I looked my dad in the eye and I said, "Everything." And it felt good. So I said it again, a little bit louder, a little bit bolder, with a nod of my head, kind of to convince myself as much as him that I meant it. I said, "I'm going to do everything." And he said, "I don't know what that means." And I thought, neither do I. But I was free of the snake tunnel, and I was swept up in a fast river that I'd never been in before, and I liked it. The next chapter, after some years of grad school, advanced degrees in economics, evolutionary biology, wildlife ecology, travel spanning cultures and continents, my work is to study and protect the ocean, the single greatest living feature of our blue planet. Our team has tracked sea turtles swimming the ocean's widest expanse from 6,000 miles from Mexico to Japan. We scuba dive in places with animals a bit more exotic than the carp in Indiana's quarries, and a bit better visibility than Bowman Pond. We've been challenged to think about how to clean up a continent-sized part of the ocean polluted by tiny bits of plastic accumulated over 100 years. We're also exploring the neuroscience behind how the feel and the sight and the sound of the ocean can calm and renew and heal our bodies and minds. As we gather here today, the world's worst environmental disaster is unfolding in slow motion in the Gulf of Mexico. Sea turtles have become the poster species for this oil spill, as well as the revolutionary response required of us going forward. Over the past 20 years, my campus has grown from a quarter square mile plot here in Greencastle to the 65 million square miles of the wide open Pacific. In that 20 years, DePauw has changed too. But then the word sustainability, back then the word sustainability and the prefix eco were never used, ever. If you said green, you meant money, or you were envious, or perhaps you were taking Bruce Serlin's botany class. Organic was shorthand for the two most brutal semesters of my life, Organic Chem 1 and Organic Chem 2. Al Gore was a moderate senator from Tennessee. Leo DiCaprio was a punk 13-year-old reading comic books in Echo Park. And the Exxon Valdez, for the first time, caused many of us to seriously consider the downside of America's addiction to oil. Back then, life was tough. People actually drank water from the tap. Can you believe that? Today, our university is a national leader in the subjects of sustainability, environmental ethics, and socio-ecological problem solving. Plastic bottles are on the way out. Green is a lifestyle. Green is a TV channel. Green is sexy. Times have changed. The middle of the speech. So here you are, the class of 2010, and you are making the changes that inspired me. I've studied you, and as you may know, I friended the entire senior class on Facebook. Except for Alexandra, who repeatedly denied my requests. You're a smart young woman, Alexandra. As for the rest of you, I friended you all for a good reason. I'm a scientist, and it's important that I understand my subject matter. How can I give an adequate commencement speech without knowing you? So I'm a scientist. I studied the class of 2010, and here's what I learned just by observing. College students have much less time for computer games like Mafia Wars and Farmville than people with real jobs being paid to sit in front of their computers. Exactly none of you have poked me or gifted me a virtual strawberry patch. That's a good sign. You're a serious, studious, hardworking bunch. And while you weren't sure if you were going to survive that astronomy final, you did. DePauw students come from 42 states and 41 countries. 58% of you are women. 3% were born under the sign of Leo. When most of you were born, Ronald Reagan was president. People wrote on typewriters, and telephones were attached to things. You've spent most of your life in school increasing your understanding of this evolving world of ours. A very wise person once taught me that the foundation of love is understanding. And there's so much more to you than those statistics and what you know. After studying you a little bit more, a quote by Ray Davies of the Kinks came to mind. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But here's the thing. You're both. You are lovers and fighters. You love each other. You love your university. You love your president, your university president. You love your families. You really, really love your families. I can see that. You love this planet, and you love all the life living on it. In fact, you love it so much you might even consider getting a small sea turtle tattoo in some discreet, easy-to-cover job interview location. But you're also fighters. You fought hard to reach this day, to graduate from college after almost 2 decades of schooling. You fought to make your campus cleaner and greener, and your world more just. On campus, in the classroom, on the tracks, the courts, on the playing fields, as you travel the world, you fight for what you believe, for what you want. You fight for the things you love. And that's why you are lovers and fighters. Don't worry, you can be both. You're college graduates now. You can do lots of stuff simultaneously. Talk and walk, vote and hope, think and act, sing and march, swim and smile, all at the same time. You are lovers and fighters, and I greatly admire that. So what are you going to do with all that love and all that fight? Well, the shortest and best bullwhip of an answer I can think of is everything. But we're in the age of crowdsourcing, hive minds, flash mobs, swarm mentality, and hyper-networking. We have to answer these questions together as a group. So I asked the most interesting thinkers I know, scholars, poets, artists, and futurists. I asked them, what's your burning question for the 2010 class of lovers and fighters? They came back with some great answers, some great questions. Why does the Supreme Court think corporations should enjoy the same rights as individuals? Can government meet the challenges of climate change and end of cheap energy and our economic house of cards? Is there a real relationship between how hard I studied and how well I will do in the world? That one was from Billy Collins, former poet laureate of the US. You should read all of his poems. They're brilliant. Can democracy survive complexity? Where does all the plastic go? How do my decisions affect those who will live 100 years from now? How do we love all children of all species equally and for all time? And then, the most perplexing of all, if it's we. That one came from my 8-year-old daughter, Grace. She wrote it on the back of an envelope and handed it to me while I was writing the speech. It's sort of a question and an answer at the same time, as in, if it's we who will renew our democracy, if it's we who will discover a new way to live on the earth, if it's we who will be the change, then we must get beyond us versus them and focus on the idea that we all love our children, our parents, our friends, and our special places much more than our things and our ideas. What does being a lover and a fighter make you? It makes you an activist, because activists act. They fight for what they love. You know in your gut that there isn't time to mess around. You join organizations and groups. You start campaigns. You discuss and argue and analyze, and then you act. Like it or not, we are all activists now because the ocean is burning. The end of the speech. Us. So here you are graduating. You are well on your way to finding your passion. It's my sincere hope that it has something to do with the healing of what's broken on our planet today, whether your focus is on the environment or our fellow human beings. To do that, you must feel things deeply. Don't rely so much on reason and logic. And while it may seem funny that a scientist would tell you that, it's the neuroscientist who taught me that we can't have reason without emotion. That all of our decisions are based in emotion, whether we like it or not. Understanding this, how your own brain works, in the context of human evolution and the history of the universe, deepens our love and empathy for each other and all of life. This is the nugget of truth in our fight for the blue planet. So let's do a little exercise in perception. I came here from the West Coast by train. It took 62 hours, 2.5 days. If I'd taken the space shuttle, flying at maximum speed, straight away from the Earth, in that same amount of time, I would be about 1 million miles away right now. Imagine yourselves out there, nice and cool, looking back. Now take out that blue marble. Hold it at arm's length. Look through the glass. From 1 million miles, Earth, our home, would look about the size of that small blue marble. Pretend you're 1 million miles away, looking back at Earth. That blue marble you see, it's your only home. And it's blue because of the ocean. My fellow biologist, Richard Dawkins, called the ocean the watery alma mater of all life. And Carl Sagan, another very smart man, once pointed out that the blue marble is where all of human history has happened. On this blue marble, we call Earth, every being who has ever lived was born and finished their lives. Every mother and father, every hopeful child and college graduate, every oil executive and every environmental activist, every dinoflagellate, every dinosaur, every sea turtle, every mountain lion, every single burst of passion and firing neuron that fights for what it loves has lived on just one planet. This lone, beautiful blue marble spinning in the vast emptiness of space, this Earth, our one and only blue marble, is where we must make our stand. So while we're here together on this Earth, we may as well fight for what we love, because as far as any of us knows, it's our only home. My hope is that you'll find and hold on to the passion that keeps you awake, the kind that sits you up, bolt upright, in bed, in the middle of the night, with excitement about your own ideas. My hope is that you will continue to fight for what you love. I've given you this simple gift made of glass, a blue marble, to remind you of what you already know, that the best things life has to offer are worth all the love and all the fight that you can muster. Don't be afraid. Just love and fight. Keep your cool. Maintain your center, but love and fight and love. And do it with everything you have. Because you are lovers and you are fighters. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Jay. I now call on R. David Hoover, Chair of the Board of Trustees, to assist me. Mr. Hoover, these persons before me have been recommended by the faculty as having met all conditions for graduation from DePauw University. I therefore ask you, Mr. Hoover, as Chair of the Board of Trustees, to authorize me to advance to them their degrees.
Mr. President, the Board of Trustees of DePauw University, by its unanimous vote, now authorizes you to confer degrees upon all candidates, including honorary degrees, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Musical Arts, Bachelor of Music Education, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Arts.
Thank you. I now call on David Harvey, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Percy L. Julian Professor of Chemistry and Biochemistry, to present the candidates for honorary degrees.
Mr. President, may I present Brian P. Lamb, a visionary in public affairs television, telecommunications leader, and distinguished journalist, for the degree of Doctor of Letters.
Brian Lamb, your contributions to telecommunications and journalism are considerable. Drawing on the evolving satellite technology, you helped found and launch in 1979 the first cable television channel that delivered gavel-to-gavel coverage of the United States Congress. Under your capable leadership ever since, the cable satellite public affairs network, known as C-SPAN, has grown. You have interviewed Presidents Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Clinton, and George W. Bush, as well as other world leaders such as Margaret Thatcher and Mikhail Gorbachev. For C-SPAN's weekly program Book Notes, you covered serious scholarship through interviews with 800 nonfiction authors. You have brought the commons to the world, the great debates of our days to our homes and into our minds. Democracy, our ancient form of government, has been renewed by your great view forward. Upon recommendation of the faculty, the Board of Trustees has authorized me to confer upon you, Brian P. Lamb, the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters. As a symbol thereof, I invest you with this hood and hand you this diploma bearing the great seal of the corporation and the signatures of the proper officials. Mr. Lamb.
Mr. President, may I present Wallace J. Nichols, a respected global leader in conservation efforts who has particularly worked to protect the oceans and endangered sea turtles, for the degree of Doctor of Science.
Wallace J. Nichols III. You've been recognized for your pioneering research of the oceans and Bowman Pond, sea turtles, and other marine life and sustainability. You have brought honor to DePauw as a staunch advocate for restoring the ocean's health and diversity, and as an effective leader who inspires people around the world to join the effort to transform our relationship with the sea for the betterment of us all. As you encourage others to do, live like you love the ocean, and serve as an outstanding role model for DePauw students and alumni everywhere. Upon recommendation of the faculty, the Board of Trustees has authorized me to confer upon you, Wallace J. Nichols III, the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. As a symbol thereof, I invest you with this hood and hand you this diploma bearing the great seal of the corporation and the signatures of the proper officials. Okay. I now call on Dean Caroline Jatan to present candidates for the degrees from the School of Music.
Let the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Musical Arts, and Bachelor of Music Education please stand. Mr. President, I present you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Musical Arts, and Bachelor of Music Education.
Thank you, Dean Jatan. On recommendation of the faculty, the Board of Trustees of DePauw University grants to you severally the degrees of Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Musical Arts, and Bachelor of Musical Education, which admits you to the fellowship of educated men and women everywhere. As holders of this degree, I call upon you to bring music to the world, especially to the generations that will follow you. I now therefore present to you the degree to which your efforts have led, bearing the great seal of the Corporation of DePauw University and the appropriate signatures.
Bachelor of Music Education, Philip Michael Blaine, cum laude. Rachel Ann Bowman. Natalie Ray Dreyer. Elaine Catherine Geeding. Kelly Joelle Haupt, cum laude. Shai Cantor. Carly Nicole LaForest. Catherine Eleanor Laram. Aaron Lee Mead. Nicola Zoran Petrovich. Andrew Chapin Richardson. Emily Helena Rose. Maureen Esther Taylor. Sarah Catherine Wachter. Bachelor of Musical Arts, Melissa Renee Bach. Tiffany Leanna Kamhai. Alyssa Len Degner. Adam Michael Gilbert, magna cum laude. Cameron Arthur Gindap. Thomas Roger Good. Patrice Keao Onohi Lee. Andrew Stephen Porter, cum laude. Colin Joseph Ramsey. Bachelor of Music Education, Michael Aaron Alsop, magna cum laude. Caitlin Elizabeth Brown. Jeremy Joseph Eberhard. Robert Samuel James Meltzer. Nicholas Brooks Pearson. William Earl Roden III, cum laude. Danielle Renee Rush. Nicole Marie Stark. Elizabeth Ann Van Hook.
I now call jointly on Dean Caroline Jeton and Dean Peter Foss to present the candidates for the dual degree of Bachelor of Music and Bachelor of Arts.
Let the candidates for the double degrees of Bachelor of Music and the degree of Bachelor of Arts please stand.
Mr. President, we present to you the candidates, each to receive a degree in Bachelor of Music and a degree in Bachelor of Arts.
Thank you, Deans Foss and Jeton. Upon the recommendations of this faculty, the Board of Trustees of DePauw University grants to you severally the degrees of Bachelor of Music and the degree of Bachelor of Arts, which admits you to the fellowship of educated men and women everywhere. As holders of these degrees, I call upon you to bring the triumphs of music, arts, and letters and the sciences to the world, bringing to bear your myriad talents and perspectives. I now, therefore, present to you the degree to which your efforts have led, bearing the great seal of the Corporation of DePauw University and the appropriate signatures.
Amanda Caroline Fisher, Bachelor of Music in Violin Performance, summa cum laude.
And Bachelor of Arts in Russian Studies, summa cum laude.
Carl Edward Frank, Bachelor of Music in Vocal Performance.
And Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, cum laude.
Anne Marie Hostetter, Bachelor of Music in Piano Performance, summa cum laude.
And Bachelor of Arts in Computer Science, summa cum laude.
Lindsay Lillian Moy, Bachelor of Music in Vocal Performance, cum laude.
And Bachelor of Arts in Studio Art, magna cum laude.
Erica Jane Ross, Bachelor of Music in Vocal Performance.
And Bachelor of Arts in Biology, cum laude.
Carolyn Ann Swall Templeton, Bachelor of Music in Vocal Performance.
And Bachelor of Arts in Political Science.
Shani Varman, Bachelor of Music in Vocal Performance.
And Bachelor of Arts in French, cum laude.
I now call on Dean Foss to present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please stand? Mr. President, it is with pleasure that I present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
On the recommendation of this faculty, the Board of Trustees of DePauw University grants to you severally the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, which admits you to the fellowship of educated men and women everywhere. As women and men trained in the liberal arts, I call upon you to bring empathy and leadership to a complex world, respecting the triumphs of the past while moving us wisely into the future. I now, therefore, present to you the degree to which your efforts have led, bearing the great seal of the Corporation of DePauw University and the appropriate signatures.
Will the first row of BA candidates please remain standing? All others may be seated. Those persons listed on the program whose names are not called this afternoon will receive their degrees in absentia. Nicole Christine Craker. Robert Douglas Abbott. Casey Marie Adderhold, summa cum laude. Amrita Adakari. Rachel Stevens Ardrey, cum laude. Grace Burheit Atwater. Janet Lynn Alt, summa cum laude. Melissa Avalos. Monica Avalos. John Charles Ball II. Caroline Elizabeth Baker. Sarah Grace Baker, summa cum laude. Anna Catherine Balsarac. Catherine Louise Bales. Gail Allison Ballard. Danielle Quadwo Bampo. David Southwick Barkhausen. Kyle Stewart Barrett. A member of the 2007 Division III Women's Basketball Championship team, Christine Elaine Barrow. Christine is not with us today. She's currently competing in the Division III National Softball World Series and will receive her diploma when she returns to campus. Jonathan Corbin Botello. Luke Charles Beasley, summa cum laude. Eric Christopher Beckman, cum laude. Christopher Patrick Belcour. Brendan Ray Bells, magna cum laude. Braca Benazri, summa cum laude. Sean P. Benjamin. Matthew Devin Bennett. Zachary T. Bernsden. Laura Elizabeth Burr. Bryce Sterling Bledsoe. Charles Frederick Bamey. Emily Joellen Bowling. Danielle Elise Boraz. Alex Paul Borgreen. Christine Elizabeth Borney. Ian Scott Boyd, magna cum laude. Gwendolyn Ann Brack. Stephanie Ann Bradburn. Brittany Marie Brand, cum laude. Benjamin Stadler Bronski. John Kent Brereton, cum laude. Allison Kate Brinkman. Laura Catherine Brinley. Adam Evan Brock, magna cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Brooks. Angela Sue Browse, summa cum laude. Catherine Claire Brown, cum laude. Ryan Lee Brown. Dana Elizabeth Brownfield. Sarah Ann Brune. Melissa Joan Buckley, magna cum laude. Kevin Wilson Bungie. Christopher Sean Cadle. Taylor Gattens Calderon. Thomas Bradford Dormer Callan. Megan Elizabeth Carmody. Adriana Carrasco. Catherine Mary Caraco. Paul Warner Cartwright. Brian Casey. William Haynes Cath. William Harris Chalker. Keith Westerfeld Chapman. Stephen Charles Clark. Alicia Jean Menju Clausen. Catherine Elizabeth Colvin. Alexandra Carolina Connor. Scott Harrison Connor. Kathleen Bold Conniff. Lindy E. Conover, cum laude. Brittany Danielle Cook. John Coulter Cook. Jonathan Mark Corwin. Catherine Ann Cosgrove, cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Cozy. Daphne Ann Crane, cum laude. Stacy Dre Crawford, Jr. Kalena Santiago Cuevas. Suzanne Judith Patricia Cunningham. Brittany Elizabeth Kernut. Jennifer Ann Currier. Tiffany Ashley Curtis. Lauren Marie da Silveira. Eric William Dahman. Alexandra Marie Daniels. Emily Catherine Davidson, cum laude. Caitlin Michelle Davitt, magna cum laude. Christopher Raymond Day. Daniel Davis DeGeis. Robert Craig DeLost. Spud Dick. Aaron Bradley Dicker. Christopher A. Dietrich, Jr. Susan Joy DeWald, cum laude. Andrew Grant Dober. Ryan Gregory Dodd. Rebecca Ann Dre, summa cum laude. Paige Renee Dukeman. Heather Marie Duncan. James Clinton Duncan, Jr. Benjamin Allen Eckler. Austin William Eiler. Ingrid Christina Alias, cum laude. Elizabeth Duncan Elliott, cum laude. Andrew David Emhart. Alec Joseph Enfield. Cassidy Sue Enix. John Joseph Erickson. Nicholas Daniel Etzkorn. Joseph Carson Evans III. Ashley Elizabeth Fair. A member of the 2007 Division III Women's Basketball Championship team, Jenna Marie Fernandez. Hallie Ann Fisher. Brian Michael Fisher. Alexander Earling Fitch, summa cum laude. Christopher John Fitzgerald. Neil Travis Fitzharris. Kelsey E. Flanagan. Aurora Maria Flores, cum laude. Michael James Ford. Kyle Thomas Foster, magna cum laude. James Edward Francis. Elizabeth Ann Frankel. Crystal Kimbria Alice Franklin. Chinoa Nicole Fraser. Stephen Daniel Freed, cum laude. Eric Matthew Fresshauer, summa cum laude. Jesse Milne Gardner. Carrie Elizabeth Garinger McCabe, cum laude. Abigail Ann Garrison. Chelsea L. Gartner. William Clinton Gates. Ilya Vasilyev Gagov. Rochelle Lee Geis, cum laude. Nathaniel Edward Gentry. Bradley Thomas Gerlach. Kirsten E. Gersh, magna cum laude. Gregory Philip Giometti, summa cum laude. Ryan Gerald Gaziski. Matthew Scott Gold. Benjamin Lloyd Golden. Dione Irene Gomez. David Stephen Good. David Clark Gould. Morgan Elizabeth Grant. David Alexander Gray II. Madeline Alyssa Gray, cum laude. Salvatore Greco. Margaret Jean Gregory. Alexandra Michelle Gribben. Courtney Patricia Griffin. Jamie Ann Grievous. Elizabeth Blue Guess, summa cum laude. Meredith Claire Haig, summa cum laude. Trent James Hackett. Eric Daniel Hagan. Richard Austin Hajar. Peter James Haller. Christopher Major Halvanek. Mitchell Kenneth Hannum. Hannah Leigh Harp, cum laude. Jordan Christopher Haverkamp. Megan Caitlin Hayes, cum laude. Matthew Kathleen Heitzman, cum laude. Evan Marcus Henricks. John Richards Herrick. Megan Marie Higgins. Bradley Adam Hilbrick. Amelia Louise Hill. Carl Hill, Jr. Tricia Grace Himmeline. Darren Patrick Hinkle, magna cum laude. Taylor Warren Hoffman. Daniel Dryden Hogan. Brooke Ann Hollingsworth. Anthony Laylim Holton. Andrew David Holy. Catherine Lee Hopkins. Charles Evan Jones. No? Elizabeth Ann Jones. Jarrell? Missed a page. Sorry. Jarrell Antoine Horton. Mary Astra Howard, cum laude. Rebecca Christine Ruska. Jackson Taylor Hughes. Christine Allison Hunt. Evan Daniel Hunter. Amtul Nasser Idrisu. Rochelle Lynn Jackson. Edwin Powell Jacoby. Sarah Case Jager, cum laude. Danielle Renee Yagers, summa cum laude. Victor Anthony James, Jr. Heather Elaine Jeffries, cum laude. Eric Robert Jenkins. Alyssa Ann Jewell, magna cum laude. Charles William Jewett. David Reese Jokel. Danielle Elise Johnson, magna cum laude. Caitlin Marie Johnson. Aisha Michelle Jones. Elizabeth Ann Jones. Jeanette Lynn Jones, cum laude. Melissa Danielle Jornd. Emily Ann Young. Julie Elizabeth Callis. Kristen Leigh Kane. Megan Elizabeth Kaiser, cum laude. Ryan Michael Keeley. Kelsey Ann Kyleman. Amber Corinne Kelly. Keelan Ann Kelly, magna cum laude. Jessica Ann Konjorski, cum laude. Nicholas Edward Kennedy, summa cum laude. Kyle Diane Keeney, cum laude. Brendan Kyle Kerrigan, cum laude. Erin Elizabeth Ketchum, cum laude. Erin Marguerite Kilty, cum laude. Scott Brady Kissick, magna cum laude. Stephen Charles Clayback, cum laude. Catherine Mary Klein, cum laude. Courtney Renee Canese. James Christopher Coker, cum laude. Megan Marie Cohn. Mallory Ann Crayley. Colton Matthew Kruger, cum laude. Todd William Cooper, cum laude. Gabrielle Aaron Lacey. Nicholas William Laird, summa cum laude. Travis Joseph Lamoth. Thomas Christian Lancaster. Amanda Marie Lane. Trevor Earl Lanuette. Eric Alexander Larson, cum laude. Catherine H. Larson, cum laude. Brian Kimball Lawless. Anna Victoria Ledesma. Kelsey Ann Lee, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Lemons. Marianne Rosefier Lesh, summa cum laude. Brian H. Leswing, cum laude. Samantha Bryn Levy, cum laude. Jonathan David Lay, magna cum laude. Hal Lee. Yan Ting Lee, cum laude. Samuel Joseph Lynette. Nicholas Gordon Linville. Christopher Randall Lishawa. Sabrina Ann Long, cum laude. Ashley Ann Louise. Christina Marie Lubinsky. John Anthony Lucchese, Jr. Alexander Christian Lubert. Nadia Lenev Lustig. Greer Catherine Mackey. Renita Nasia Madison. Anne Virginia Mayle, magna cum laude. Ellen Clar Mayle, magna cum laude. Caroline Kelsey Majors. Maher Rashid Mokhtar, summa cum laude. Tia Marie Malcolm, cum laude. Raymond Andrew Mara. A member of the 2007 Division III Women's Basketball Championship team, Emily Jane Marshall. Kyrian Jenna Marshall. Erica Lee Martin, summa cum laude. Timothy John Martin, summa cum laude. Alexandra Leigh Moorer. Caitlin Rose McCartan. Christopher Allen McCormick. Megan Lee McFarland. Sadie Jane McGraw. Christopher Stephen McGuire. John Colburn McElraith. Kevin Michael McLaughlin. Kristen Lee McMahon. Megan Marie McNally. Janet Marie Mellinger. Carl Everett Merritt. Lindsay Michelle Merwin, summa cum laude. Amanda N. Meyer, summa cum laude. Lauren Mercedes Meyer. Andrew Thomas Middleton. Kristen Ann Mitchell, summa cum laude. Kathleen Frances Mittendorf, summa cum laude. Nikki K. Miyasato. Brandon Lewis Monson. Curtis Gregory Moore. Curly Morissette III. Daryl John Mowry, summa cum laude. Brian Peter Mulligan. Rebecca Margaret Murphy. Ashley Marie Myers. Matthew Colin Nance. Caitlin Victoria Neal. Graydon Matthew Neff. Elizabeth Lynn Newell, cum laude. Jonathan Peter Newman. Han Thong Ngo. Tiffany Michelle Nichols, cum laude. Marina Ruth Nicholson. Timothy James Nicholson, cum laude. Thomas Irvie Nichols. Burhan Meskel Ilmu Nida, cum laude. Mary Hope Nolden, magna cum laude. Carrie Elizabeth Nall. Benjamin R. Norris. Kathleen Ann O'Connor. Ashley Elizabeth Sukme Odell. Sarah Nicole Ogren. Scott Thomas O'Neill. Nana Akosua Otutua Amoa. Eleonora Ruth Owen Fairdig, cum laude. Ka Iolani Pa'ahana. I forgot the first name. Michelle Cruz Parsons. Anil Naresh Patel. Bradley James Pause. Laura Ashley Pierce, cum laude. Cully Harris Pearson. Emily Marie Pence. Paige Elizabeth Penrod, summa cum laude. Kevin Nelson Pereira. Caroline Therese Peterson. Alyssa B. Fantow. Jennifer Glenn Plymate, summa cum laude. Jessica Michelle Pond. Elizabeth McLean Potter. Taylor Deborah Prodromos. Lauren Ashley Pucci, magna cum laude. Andrew Ryan Paul Ragsdale, cum laude. Rebecca Ann Razor. Michael Wesley Ratliff, summa cum laude. Catherine Diane Ream. Derek Andrew Redman. Kelly Diane Reed. Michael David Reed. Miles Brenston Reed. Lauren Elizabeth Reich. Alyssa Marie Richardson. Sarah Burke Riffle. Lindsay Ellen Riggs. Bradley Lynn Riley. Paige Canavan Ritkers. Christina Rivera. Stephanie Amber Rivera. Kaylee Ellen Robbins, magna cum laude. Mary Catherine Roberson, cum laude. Anaja Lanice Roberts. Brooke Lauren Robertson. Allison Elizabeth Rock. Nicholas Martin Rohrer. Rebecca Page Rojek. Elizabeth Ann Roller. Molly Ann Rudnick. Caitlin Elizabeth Rug, cum laude. Dustin Clay Rasbarski. Matthew Gregory Seba. Francilia Virginia Samuel. Danielle David Sanchez. Scott Midland Sandiger, cum laude. Kendra Lynn Santasteven. Catherine Ashley Schaefer. Peter Edwin Schomber, summa cum laude. Christopher Michael Schenk. Jonathan Edward Schmidt. Andrew Douglas Schneider. Emily Catherine Schulte, magna cum laude. Maria Ilyusha Schwartzman, cum laude. Kelly Lennon Schwartzler. Jesse Adams Searles. Jason Harold Seitz. Pamela Sue Selly, magna cum laude. Reed Gillespie Seward. Penka Dimitrova Shapova, magna cum laude. Danielle Marie Shover, magna cum laude. Michael LeBron Shropshire, Jr. Alicia K. Smalley. Daniel Scott Smith, Jr. Elise Jane Smith, cum laude. Kayla Marie Smith. Lauren Brooke Smith, cum laude. Jennifer Catherine Snow. Mary Elizabeth Snyder. Jessica F. Sotan. Benjamin Charles Solomon. Bo Zachary Sorg. Megan Doreen Solt, cum laude. Megan is currently competing in the Division III National Softball Championship and will receive her diploma when she returns to campus. Julie B. Southworth, magna cum laude. Andrew Peter Spataro. Jessica Lee Staldine. Elizabeth Hannah Stannard, cum laude. Evany LaShund Starks. Andrea Mahi Stathopoulos, cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Staton, summa cum laude. Nicole Jeanette Stein. Jane Meredith Still. Mary Louise May Steckline, cum laude. Catherine Claire Stoll. Danielle Ruth Strohmeyer. Sarah Ann Serber. Margaret Ann Sutherland, cum laude. Benjamin Austin Sweeney. Christine Marie Tanner. Caroline Elizabeth Tell, cum laude. Annie Saunders Tierney. Han Min Angela To. Alexa King Tracy, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Reagan Travers, cum laude. Rebecca Lynn Trowbridge. Alex Conrad Troxel, summa cum laude. Carolyn Martin Tebekis, cum laude. Alex Ryan Turco, cum laude. Brian Vincent Elk, cum laude. Matthew Taylor Valerie Ani. Philip John Vanderbroek, cum laude. Greg James Vaughn. Darren Sean Villegas, cum laude. Shelby D. Vorndren, summa cum laude. Patrick Joseph Wagner. Daniel Elliott Wagoner. John Richard Walsh IV. Tessa Hayes Walsh. Thea Nicole Warren. Emily Jane Watts. Marshall Chapman Wiedek, summa cum laude. Lauren E. Weatherall, summa cum laude. Zachary David Weinberg. John Jeffrey Wellick, cum laude. Brianne Natasha Wenning, cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Workenthine. Lauren Elizabeth Wesley, cum laude. Matthew Robert Westenkirchner. Andrew Joseph Wickman, cum laude. Caitlin Allison Williams. Evan Patrick Williams. Graham Devin Williams. Janice Ann Williams, cum laude. Carrie Beth Willingham. Gleason Oliver Wilson. Adam Stephen Wishart. Whitney Catherine Woods. Neil Aaron Wright. Melissa Jo Yaney. Abel Meriteb Yedigo. Faith Ashley Zabik. Jennifer Elaine Zorka. Melissa Gail Zimmerman, magna cum laude. Christopher Daniel Zingaro.
Congratulations to all of you. I now call back to the podium Dave Hoover, Chair of the Board of Trustees.
Thank you, President Casey. Just a couple of thoughts I'd like to share with you. 3.5 years ago, I was asked to chair the trustees at a time when President Bottoms was announcing he was going to retire. I was crazy busy in those days, and I accepted this responsibility, and it's been one of the best things I've ever done in my life. So I want to thank my fellow trustees and all of you who support this university for this opportunity. Secondly, my version of loving and fighting is a couple of things. One is having fun is mandatory. This is for you nice graduates out there from an old person. So having fun is mandatory, but keep in mind at the same time you have to care. You know, find things in your life that you can do and be involved in that go well beyond your job, whatever that may be, and stay inspired. You have a great education from this institution. You have a huge responsibility in a world full of trouble to go out and help make it a better place. So with that, I'd like to call upon Janet L. Johns, DePauw class of 1985 and president of the Alumni Association, to welcome these graduates into the roles of DePauw University alumni.
Graduating class of 2010, parents and family, friends and mentors, alumni in our legacy community, the greater Greencastle community, faculty and staff, President Casey, and our distinguished guests. On behalf of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, it is my great pleasure to be a part of this significant milestone of the class of 2010. I'm now reminded of the celebrated words of Nikki Craker upon receiving the Walker Cup Award a few weeks ago. "I love DePauw," she said. "I love DePauw, and I would never leave if I didn't have to." Class of 2010, here on graduation day, the Alumni Association Board of Directors would like to share a meaningful message with you. You are not leaving. You are not leaving because the alumni community, your alumni family, a DePauw community of 35,000, awaits you. We await you as mentors, we welcome you into our communities, and we celebrate with you as you bring your footprint to the DePauw alumni community. Over the past 4 years, I have learned of your amazing accomplishments. DePauw challenged you and your classmates to excel as intellectual explorers, independent learners, and engaged participants. I expect to hear further accomplishments of the class of 2010 as you excel as industry leaders, pioneering entrepreneurs, accomplished performers, and citizens of our communities. As a student at DePauw, you develop friendships for a lifetime. As well, you will have the opportunity to build and sustain equally meaningful friendships with DePauw alumni. You will engage and interact on your shared values, experiences, and the admiration for DePauw University. Upon my graduation, I moved to Connecticut, thereafter to Manhattan, and then to San Francisco. And in each new community, I was welcomed by alumni friends and mentors. My alumni mentors encouraged me to start alumni clubs, host Moan Bell telecast parties, get involved with the university's Day of Service. I worked with the admissions office on college fairs, and I was invited by DePauw as an active voice to work with other alumni in positioning DePauw for the 21st century. And now I'm serving on the Alumni Association Board of Directors. I hope you too will find your path of getting involved with DePauw as an active alum. All of these wonderful opportunities afforded me great DePauw friendships of different generations across the United States and internationally. To this day, I can reach out to these alumni friends, and our conversation will pick up right where we left off. The common thread, DePauw University. 5 years from now, I look forward to seeing you right back here on campus as you celebrate your 5th year reunion, for I'll be here as well. And when we meet up with one another, I look forward to hearing you say, I did not leave DePauw. I joined an alumni community of 35,000. Welcome, class of 2010. Welcome to the next chapter in your journey with DePauw University.
Without quality faculty, no university could perform its work. Today, we recognize one member of the teaching faculty who has provided the university with uncompromised effort in regard to the classroom experience. She receives a DePauw University citation, which reads, "This citation is presented to you in recognition of your distinguished services as teacher, scholar, counselor of youth, and loyal administrator, which have contributed greatly to the cause of higher education and to DePauw University." I would now like to recognize Mart A. Chandler, 1981 to 2010, Professor Emerita of Philosophy.
And now, as has been executed by DePauw presidents who held this office before me, I will read to you the charge of the graduating class. Would the members of the class of 2010 please stand? In advancing you to your degrees, you have been admitted to the company of graduates of DePauw University, and you have been members of the larger company of university graduates elsewhere. You have entered into a community entrusted with a noble inheritance. You have earned these honors. You are heirs to all that is past. Men and women of rich mind have labored, and you have entered into their labors. Prophets and sages, scholars and scientists, poets and public servants have wrought with patience, and the abundant fruit of their toils is yours. It is yours to use, it's yours to increase, and yours to bequeath to your successors. In the name of those who have gone before you and of those who are to follow you, the university charges you to be strong, to acquit yourself with integrity, and to be loyal to your highest ideals. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are in good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think of these things. Dear class of 2010, on behalf of this faculty and of this university, I wish you good luck. Go make your way in the world. It's waiting for you, and it needs you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Remain standing, please, for the benediction, and you may decide what you want to do with your hats. We give you thanks. The weather held in. We give you thanks. These students did not get overheated. We give you thanks that our parents, our grandparents, our relatives, our friends have stayed by our side even this afternoon. We give you thanks, for we go out into a society in which 27% of the American people have a college degree. So we shall now be a minority, and yet it is entrusted to this class to change the world and make it better. May it never be said that anybody from the class of 2010 ever lost their marble. And when these students return in 20 or 30 or 50 years for their honorary doctorates, may this university look with pride upon all the accomplishments of the class of 2010. Amen.
DePauw, we toast today and raise our voices high. We'll honor thee and loyal be and praise thee to the sky. Let every son and daughter stand united for thee, and hail go throughout the land. Here's to you, old DePauw.
Would you please be seated? Now it's my turn to give the message. Oh, no, that's already been done. All I want to do is invite you to a party, to a reception, honoring today's graduates on the lawn around East College by the pillars. But I would ask that all of the audience please kindly remain seated while the platform party, our new alumni, and the faculty recess to the reception area. So students and faculty, if you would stand and join me in a recessional, we'll join the rest of the audience at the reception in a few moments. Thank you.